Shalom everybody, we're learning Parshat Chayei Sarah. Chayei Sarah is talking about the passing of Sarah actually, but it's named the life of Sarah because it's really speaking about her qualities and what she did in her life. And so it says her life was 100 years and 20 years and 7 years. Why does it separate it like that? So it's teaching us on a simple level. It says that even when she was 100, she was clean from sin as a 20-year-old. On a deeper level though, it's saying that even when she was getting older, she still felt like a young person. Nowadays, a lot of people feel old and they say, my best years were behind me when I was young. No, every day we should feel like we're new. This is my new life. I'm starting fresh. I should start a new service of God. That's the idea here. It's saying even when she was 127, she still felt like a new and young person. So in this parsha, it talks about Abraham acquiring Ma'arat HaMachpelah. This is the burial site of Sarah and Abraham. Adam and Eve were also there, and Abraham kind of found out about that, and the person he bought it from didn't even know that that's who was buried there. So it says that not only did Abraham buy this spot, also King David bought the spot where the temple was. He bought it from a person called Arvana, the Yebusite. And David said, I'm not going to bring free offerings to my God. I got to pay for this. Why is this idea that they pushed? Abraham pushed to pay for it. He was told, no, I'll give it to you for free. He said, no, I'm paying for it. Because these were very holy places. These are the holiest places in the world. Ma'arat HaMachpelah, where Abraham and Sarah are buried, and the other forefathers, and Adam and Eve, it's called the gateway to the Garden of Eden. All souls go up there to the tree of life. So too, the place where the Beit HaMikdash, the temple is, Temple Mount, is called the Gate of Heaven, Shara Shamayim in Hebrew. What's the holiness there? It's called the revelation of the Hashgacha, the providence, God's watching over. You can feel God's presence in this place. And that's, in general, that's the idea of Israel, that it's so holy. But in Israel itself, these are the holiest spots. Israel itself, it says, Tamid Ani Hashem Elokecha Ba. Always Hashem's eyes are on it. That's all of Israel. But here, these spots are the holiest of all. And that's where God's providence is most revealed. What is this providence? This is the main concept of holiness. And that we said that is in Israel. In Israel itself, there are 10 levels of holiness. And these are the holiest of the holy. And that's where our forefathers and our matriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah, that's where they ascended to heaven through this place. So why were these places in the hands of non-holy people? Because that's a rule, as we've discussed many times before. Any place which is very holy, it's going to be concealed first in this physical realm. It will be in the hands of evil. And what is the evil in this case? This is the denial of God through nature, saying nature is everything, there is no God, and you need to pay to take the holiness out of them. And so they're doing it willingly because they're being paid for it. They're not giving it free, because money is the main beneficial thing. Money is the main influencer. And what is the main mistake of nature is selfishness, and that's money in a sense, and that's idol worship. Because why do people worship idols? Because they want to get stuff. That was the main idea why people worshipped idols. It's for selfishness. And that's the difference of Judaism from these other ways of serving these false gods, is that we believe that we're supposed to serve God selflessly. Yes, there's going to be reward and punishment, but it's not about that. The highest level is to serve God for no reward whatsoever. That's why we don't teach kids about that, because that's too high of a level. Someone who's coming close, you don't tell them, oh, just serve God for no reward whatsoever, because they probably won't want to do it. Kids won't want to do that. It's okay to start. It's encouraged to start with kids with rewards, because that will get them motivated. And the older they get, the more they understand that it's not about the rewards. It's about just serving God for the right reasons. So when Abraham bought this field from this guy called Ephron, like we said, it's called Ma'arat HaMachpelah. What's Ephron? That was his name. Ephron is connected to the word afar. Afar is dust. And in dust is one of the 4 elements: fire, dust, wind, air, and water. So there's evil of the 4 elements and there's good of the 4 elements. What is the evil of the 4 elements? That is called, it's connected to the snake. And it says, the nachash afar lachmo. The snake eats dust as his bread. How does it say? That's what it says in the Bible also, actually. God cursed the snake, you're going to eat dust. How does a snake eat dust? How does a snake eat its food? It swallows animals whole. For instance, if a snake swallows a mouse, he has to just swallow him up. He's not really even enjoying his food like if we're eating a piece of steak or whatever we're eating, we're enjoying, we're chewing it, we're tasting it. The snake is not enjoying swallowing up an animal whole and digesting it. Not only that, on the mouse's fur, what is there? Dust. So literally, the snake is actually tasting dust. So this dust, what is dust on an evil level, from the evil's perspective? It's sadness, depression, laziness, heaviness, which comes from evil. I'm not trying to put down people that have depression, not at all, but it's kind of, that's what the Kabbalistic way of looking at it is, that it's coming from the side of evil. And depression, I'm sure someone that has depression won't say that they're happy with it. It's not fun to be depressed. We all have that at times. We all have sadness and depression. We need to work on it. And that's the idea, that we want to bring holiness into our life. What is the antithesis? What is the dust of holiness? The dust of holiness is emunah, faith. Dust holds everything. Dust is holding up the entire world. Even the oceans, in a sense, because there's dust in the bottom of the oceans. And that is faith. Emunah holds up everything. And that's the holiness of dust, the dust of holiness. And we draw this down. We draw down all life through this. And dust also grows things, like dust grows vegetative. So too, emunah, faith, grows things in our life. It will grow energy. It will grow the physical things that we're getting. It will bring us blessings. And this is the opposite of Ephron, who's the side of death, this opposite of life. This is the dirtiness, the impurity of the snake, which we said is the sadness and laziness and heaviness. And that's why this land of Ma'arat Machpelah was by this guy Ephron, who embodied this evil and this depression. And Abraham needed to take it out of him. And Abraham was the first of the real believers. Even though there were Noah and others before him, he was like on the highest level of belief. And he was the one who merited to take out this holiness from Ephron. Because Abraham merited, like we were talking about before, he merited the lengthy years of holiness. We mentioned it was Sarah, but Abraham also had this. This is a lengthy life, which it means not just a lengthy life, it's a good life. A life that every day is filled with good things. Abraham was the first one who really perceived the holiness of Israel, which is faith. Through this we merit all these things. And that's why this was really the first thing he inherited in Israel, was Ma'arat Machpelah. Because that's where Ma'arat Machpelah, which is connected to faith, that's where we get all the goodness of Israel. That's where we get emunah, faith, which will bring us all the blessings. God bless you all. Shabbat Shalom.